oh yeah, I'm going down to the cellars, and like this is what you come into. This is pretty good. Hello and welcome to the Evereem Gaming Channel. I am your host Azure Yahoo, and today we are back in Vintage Story. So, in the last episode, we kind of did this build here where we kind of had this kind of entrance down here that comes underneath and down into this area here. And I told you guys that, you know, by basically placing this on the surface and having to kind of make the ceiling look like ashlar, but the dirt on top, it kind of leaves this grassless area here. So instead, what I'm going to do is actually have these stairs come down even farther. So I'm going to kind of select this area. Okay, I'm going to select this area right here. That kind of has all of the, I want this whole area. I want this whole area here where the stairs are. Because I kind of want to make sure I have this copied. And so I don't need to do that. I need to copy this. And so I'm going to go ahead and kind of treat this as though we're going to go down farther. So that way we don't have that issue. And then this will be kind of the ceiling where those are. So if we bring these out, right? If we bring these out, how far down we have to go in order to kind of make these stairs so that this is the ceiling, and we'd have to, so if this is the ceiling, we got to come down by 4. And then we have obviously the floor after that. So so 1, 2, 3, actually this will be this will be the floor down here. Okay. And so yeah, again, the reason I'm going to change this up is because of the way that the grass is up here. And so I know in the last episode we kind of just had it on the surface, but here I'm going to be putting it like lower in the ground, just so that way we have the overhead clearance to kind of build this whole area out. So I will be back when that is done. All right, everybody. So you guys can see here, this is now a much deeper stairs that kind of come down into this area. But now we no longer have to worry about the ceiling clipping into the, we no longer have to worry about the ceiling clipping into the ground here. And in fact, I did change this all back to that low fertility soil. So grass should now start growing back here. Okay. In fact, you know, because I'm in creative, I can go ahead and kind of put in more of this grass. Let's get some taller grass as well as the shorter grass, kind of just dotted around here randomly. And it's going to make this look a lot better. Now these two are still chiseled because of the way the stairs are. They have to be chiseled. Okay, so right here, these blocks right here because of the ashlar blocks are going to be poking through. The dirt would be poking through right here. I chiseled them and put ashlar on there. So these two right back here are not going to look like they have grass on them. You can't put grass on them, but we could put grass all over the rest of the area here to kind of fill this area back in with grass, which now it looks so much better. It's you wouldn't be able to really tell. So now let's go ahead and get rid of our grass. So now we are able to kind of start digging out the areas we want for like a cellar. So a cellar with this design is not going to be the maximum 7x7 because of the walls and everything, but we will need to dig out an area under here for a hallway, so that way we can then come in as a cellar, like as a cellar area here. So let's go ahead and knock out the 6. Right, so this is going to be 6 high because we're going to have the ceiling in here as well as the 4 high walls and the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be our ceiling up here. Okay, and then we're going to be digging out all this area. Okay, so if you guys have the quarry mod, this would be really great to get a lot of this stone in survival, a lot of this rock, I mean. It'd be really great to get that from this area down here. And another reason why this is going to be so deep, not only do we have issues with the grass and the surface, but also being this deep, there may not be any light coming through. And so we want our cellars to be dark, especially because what we can do is we can actually have this, if it goes back far enough, so like, you know, if I try to sprint down those stairs, I do bump my head if I sprint. But what we can also do is kind of have this, since it's open, make blue cheese. So we can all put like cellars down here that are just in archways and make blue cheese. Now, you guys may have noticed that I do have on my hotbar a different tool. Okay, and so this different tool, I will go over here, and that's going to allow us to kind of more easily work with these pillars. And so what we can do is kind of rotate this pillar around here and kind of chisel off a lot of this stuff. I have now chickens down here. The chickens have decided that they want to kind of join me. So this is a multigraph. Okay, so if you guys don't know anything about the multigraph, what we can do is let's rotate this again. Hi, chickens. I need to rotate this again. So this is going to be the part that we want to add. Okay, this is the shape we want to add. So the multigraph, we can go in here and we can merge shapes. So if we take a snapshot of that shape and we right click on this, right? So left click to snapshot, right click to paste in that, we can kind of bring this pillar in a wraparound kind of form. And then let's go ahead and rotate this one more time. And we'll do the same thing over here. What kind of, now that for some reason, you know, it starts lagging on me a little bit there. And then for this hallway, I want to kind of bring this arch all the way through. Right, so just like this, and then I have a mod where I can turn this into a vertical only slab right here. So that kind of helps me, especially in creative. You guys can put this in your crafting grid and turn it into a vertical only slab. But I do not have the crafting grid because I'm in creative. So I'm not able to quite do that. So this really helps in that situation specifically, but also you don't have to kind of go into your crafting grid to kind of do that either, if you have the mod. I do think it's part of the Dana Tweaks mod. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what the mod is from. All right, so then now we basically have this hallway we've started here. Now we want to, we can get rid of those. We kind of want to come back here, and we need to bring the arches here as well. Now we do have I'd say a very short hallway. And you guys can take this back as far as you guys want or may need to kind of go back with it. But we really just need to only go back this far. But then we're going to come back at least one arch. So leave one arch, and then on the second arch back, let's go ahead and clear out a 7x7 area. And you don't want to make it 7 like kind of centered on this. You want to go only one to like the left, and then another, I'd say 4 to the right, because otherwise you would break out into this area of that room, and we don't want to do that. So go ahead and clear out, and again, it's going to be 6 high area you've got to clear out here. So because we're going to need the ceiling. So again, if you guys are using the quarry mod, I do highly recommend that one as well, to kind of get a lot of this rock out, and then use that to kind of help with your builds as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish clearing this out. It's going to be 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 7. And then by 6 high, which is in the 7x7x7 of a cellar. But because we're going to be adding a ceiling and floor and walls in this, the cellar space will be smaller. Okay, so it will be a bit smaller than an actual cellar. But that's just kind of how it's going to have to work out. Due to this just needing to be decorated, but it'll be functional. So that's the whole point, is it'll be a functional cellar, but also a very I would say a formed cellar. So it'd be that form and function, but we do lose a bit of that space. So we don't have, it's not efficient. I mean, there's a whole thing about, you know, we can make it 100% efficient, and it would be like functional, but it will not be like, it wouldn't look very good. Here we're trying to make it look good and functional, so we lose a bit of efficiency. There's just that trade-off. It's just a trade-off that kind of is the nature of it. I'm not sure that we could get it, you know, like function, form, and efficient in this way. So this will be a corner, and then we're going to come out to and place that, and then it will come out another 2, and then this will be a corner. I think I took this back too far, so I'm going to go ahead. You don't need to go back as far as I did. I think I went back a bit too far on this. because this needs to all be like, this is all going to be covered up anyway. So again, if you guys do the 7x7, like I said, it was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you do the 7x7 room by 6 high, like I said in before, then you guys won't have this problem. But I do. So let's go ahead and get our pillar shapes in. Now I could just come out here and kind of, then you guys can do this too. You can take a snapshot and then come in after you've taken the snapshot of your pillar, and then kind of put them in and then rotate them around. And I think with the multigraph here, the multigraph, let's go ahead and close out of our world edit tools here. But the multigraph, see, look, we can use this as like a chisel, or not, like a hand planer. So the hand planer, you know, offers these 3 here, so we can use it like a hand planer. And it says remove a 1 voxel plane of connected material. Yeah, so we can do that. We can also remove duplicate tools. Like this thing has the wedge, it has the, I'd say, the hand planer, and some other features as well of the pantograph. So the pantograph features here where we can do these things. Like this thing is this multigraph is really good for a lot of that. So let's go ahead and get these all turned, and then let's get our slabs in here. All right, and then we need to go like the horizontal 2 to the horizontal 2 and the vertical 2, horizontal and vertical by 2 each. And then after that, we can get our arches put in here. And as you guys can see, this, you know, this room is kind of shrinking down a bit. But that's okay. Now I do have a mod on. If you guys, I know a lot of people play with expanded foods, and so this this room is able to hold several of the tons, and I'll show you that here in a moment. But because the way that these are flat against the wall here, we are able to put shelves. So like, let's get their shelf out. All right, so we'll need a shelf. Let's get a vessel. Let's get our clay vessels out here as well. And so we're gonna, you know, we can place several vessels in here. The shelves, we can place shelves here. We may not want to like put them in the corners because it'd be hard to get to. But we can place them here. And so that's the other thing. Yeah, we have the torches out here. That's great. But then in here, we can put shelves. And we can even put a couple shelves here. And then if we go for the tons, no, the tons here, this is part of the, this is food shelves. Sorry, I said expanded foods. It's food shelves. I apologize for that, guys. But see, we can place these here, which is part of the food shelves mod, and we can store, I think it's like, I don't know how many liters this holds, but it'll be a lot. And then we can also probably put like our press in here. If I can find it here, fruit press, so we can put like that. We can put it right there. And so yeah, we can kind of like decorate up these as we see fit. Now the doors, so if we go for the solid doors, we can put them not there. We can put them like here. So when they open up, hold on, let them close again. Close them. Nope, open. You guys are clicking way too many times. All right. So we can open them. And so the doors only come out here. Or you guys can put them. Oh. So we can also put them on the inside here as well. Now I would not suggest putting the doubles in here like this. It's not going to really help anything, but it depends on if you want them opening like outwards or out from the cellar or into the cellar. Like it depends on how you want these to kind of work here. Now if I stand in here, you will notice down here in the lower left I do have a HUD mod on. Obviously you guys can see the HUD mod, and you can see here it changed to a cellar, and if I walk out into the hallway, this is obviously not a cellar, so that icon goes away. So I think I'm gonna keep the doors here where they open outwards, and then I come in here and this is a cellar. Okay, and so that is basically how we can like add a cellar. Now if we wanted to, we could keep going and we could add a cellar on this side as well, and then we can mirror that cellar, or we could come this way. Now if we do come this way to add another cellar, we want to come at least 2 archways. Okay, so so if we get our pillars out here, all right, we're gonna come, there's like these 2 spaces are an archway, and then we're gonna have like another archway, right? And then we can have the doors to the next cellar. Be right here. So this would be where the next cellar is, and then we'd have kind of walls here and here. Those would be arches. And then obviously we need to put in our ceiling and our floor as well. But this is where, so like that's what I mean by like 2 arches. These archways here will repeat twice before the next cellar, and that's because of the way the walls are. They need to be that thick in order to kind of prevent a lot of the issues that would come from breaking that wall. That like, because this cellar here, if we count, there's like 2 pillars here, so this is the wall, right? This right here, this pillar is the wall. So if we have, right, if we have this pillar here, but it's the wall on the inside, so like let's turn it so it's the wall on the inside, and then we were to have like this be a cellar, we have to come in a whole block, and then like it would kind of be like this. Well, then that leaves no room for a wall, because if we merge just the pillars here, it would be empty in between the arches. So even if we were to have like a very thin wall, even if it was only like 1 pixel wall, that's not insulating enough for this to be a cellar. So it would consider this to be too big of a room, because the walls would be too thin to insulate between the 2 rooms. And so it would be like, this is not a cellar. And it would cause the cellar effect to be diminished and kind of go away. And so that's why we're not able to kind of put the cellar door right here and kind of turn this into a cellar, because of that wall and it needing to be a certain thickness. So here though, we can kind of break this out and we can kind of turn this all into a cellar here. So we could do like another 7 by 7 here, and you can have that repeating. And so you'd have, a cellar here, and then a couple more down, you'd have another cellar. And then obviously you'd want to kind of copy. You could put these, you can put these torches in here. So then you would have lighting down here, and you wouldn't have like drifters and things spawning as well. And so it kind of would help light it up. Let's see here if I can kind of take my lantern and then kind of, you guys can kind of see it's very it's very torchy orange, I would say, but it would light it up. And then you can come in here, and when those doors close, they don't actually block the light. So since the doors don't block the light, you don't really need to have a lantern on in here if you put these on the outside. Now you could put a torch where the shelf is, but then again you're taking up more of that space. The solid doors don't really block the light, and so since they don't block the light, we kind of have this thing where the light bleeds through. So let's go ahead and we'll finish out this side, as well as bring this wall kind of like down as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear this out, put our ceiling in, put our floors in, clear out this. This needs to be a 7x7 for that cellar area here. So let's go ahead, and I will be back when I'm done doing this. This will probably take you guys a while to kind of get this all cleared out, and to get this wall put in. But then the final product will look really good, guys. It'll look really good. All right, so I was able to get all this in. Now I did extend the hall a little bit more past this, just because if this archway was right here, then this torch holder would not be here. And I kind of like the way that the torches kind of are symmetrical on each side of the cellar. Obviously in here I got the ceiling, floor, walls, everything put in here. I didn't put anything else in here because we could be using this for something else in the future, but it is definitely a cellar. And so I think this is going to wrap it up for this episode. This was kind of a shorter one here. It's a lot of really just like, now that we have a lot of the shapes, it's kind of just a lot of manipulation of those shapes, twisting them, turning them. This multigraph really helps add those shapes into the pillars and kind of makes things go a lot faster. So this is kind of a building technique, as well as like as well as showing you guys like the tools that I'm using, like plots to make these kind of circular half circular stairs here, how we're using plots for the arches to get those nice rounded arches, these nice rounded pillars and everything. We're kind of just going over a lot of the way that I use these tools to help the building, and just kind of the techniques I use. So really a lot of these are just copied and rotated. A lot of them are just copied and rotated, and that's all it is really just copying and rotating a bunch of this. But I mean, to create a hallway and then create a functional cellar, this is a working cellar. We can see here we got 0.19 of vegetable storage, 0.13 grain, 0.26 other. These are going to be really good cellars here that you guys can store a lot of stuff in. I mean, if you guys wanted to have one with just all your grain in right? If you wanted to do one with all your grains just kind of lined around the room here, let's kind of get these like this. Now, obviously, we want to leave enough room to where we come in, and then we could probably put more in here. So maybe not. So we can come in here, and we got, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. We got 15 ceramic vessels in here just for just for all our grain. And I mean, if you wanted to even go even farther and just have like one specific grain type in here, so like let's say this is your flax, this is all your flax storage, right? That would be that's a lot of flax storage in here, like a lot of flax. And then if this one's like, I don't know, your rye or something like that, or you could have like, like let's say we took out this one and we take out these two. Now we have like flax, we have rye and spelt all in one. And like that's 0.13, probably 0.125. So that's like 1/8. It's probably like 0.125. It's like 1/8 the time it's gonna take for those things to spoil. And then obviously in here, it could be storing probably some fruit, so then we can press the fruit in here, and then maybe have a barrel. Like we might have a barrel in here somewhere. So let's get a barrel, and maybe we're putting that over here. We got a couple, like let's put 3 barrels over here. Now that is gonna kind of mess with like the door and coming in and out the door here. So maybe just 2 barrels, maybe not 3, or we could have 3 and then do another barrel here. So 3 storage vessels, 3 barrels, and then if we have a bucket, so if we had a bucket here, we could put the bucket under there. And then now we have all this storage in here for all of our cellar needs. Okay, now these torches, they shouldn't make it too. Oh, is that fog? Is it foggy down here? Yeah, it looks like it's a bit foggy. But like you guys can like kind of decorate these as much as you need. You guys don't need the 7x7x7, especially considering we can have multiple of these. We already have 2 down here, and it looks so good. Like I would enjoy coming down here and being like, oh yeah, I'm going down to the cellars, and like this is what you come into. This is pretty good. So I will catch you guys in the next episode, where we will be kind of going over the forge design. Again, it's going to be a lot of this repetitive kind of pillars and things, but I will be going over how to kind of make like the standing pillars that don't have like arches or anything between them. And so there are some, they're kind of hard to see, but we'll go over those in the next episode. And then probably, maybe if we have time, kind of make this into into the area. We'll kind of probably chisel this out, and where we can go down into like another level. Okay, so then we can have like the next level down, and that kind of be like the dungeon where we go down there and fight all the monsters, which would, like the Bowtorn, Drifters, and Shivers, like all those we would be fighting down, maybe down in the next layer or something like that. But again, that's just going to be like this part right here, and these stairs just repeated and down into the next layer. So I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you guys really enjoyed this style of build. I hope you guys really like it. I'm going to be incorporating this probably into a harbor build. I'll probably be incorporating this into maybe some castle walls and things like that. Maybe it depends on if it looks really good. If not, then I won't be. But that's, you know, we'll have to see if we can see how well that looks. So I do want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode where we basically made cellars. And so this episode was brought to you by viewers like you. And the best way you guys can support the channel is by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And that helps grow the channel. That also helps me, and by growing the channel, it helps me make more videos like this for you. And so I will catch you guys in the next video.